Lack of awareness some women have about men is honestly shocking. You want to know what worries my husband the most right now? It's not me. It's not our relationship. It's not even himself. We had a very real conversation the other day, open, honest, and mutual. And these were his exact words. His first priority, his mission, his job, his purpose, because a man without a mission is doomed. He knows that if he loses that, he loses himself. And I helped him understand that it's okay to put that first, because when a man is living in his purpose, everything else falls into place, including me, including us. Second is his mom. His elderly mom lives in another country. He supports her, takes care of her, makes sure that she's okay. That's the kind of man that he is. Third, me. And before some of you freak out, let me explain. He said, "You're not a worry right now. We're good. We're solid. You're my peace, not my problem." And that hit me deep, because when you're not giving your man chaos, he can focus on his mission. Fourth, the bills, responsibilities, the constant pressure that nobody claps for. And fifth, himself. He puts himself last to make sure everything else is okay. And I sat there thinking, how many women actually realize that? While you're complaining that you don't go on enough dates, saying, "Take me here, buy me this, let's go on vacation," he's out there trying to keep everything together. Some of you don't deserve your man. You take him for granted. You drain him, nag him, criticize him, and then you cry when he pulls away. One day, he will be gone, and you will wonder why. Because while you're cashing out on your looks, your body, your demands, whatever, he was cashing out on his soul to keep you comfortable. So ladies, hear me when I say this. A man who leads, provides, and protects, that is rare. Don't make him regret choosing you, because he will.
What's labeled confusion is really refusal to ignore reality. Men didn't disappear, they adjusted. This is what happens when men stop explaining themselves. It is the moment men walking away from dating stop justifying their absence and protect peace. Men disengaging relationships and opting out of dating didn't react emotionally. It was calculated, disciplined withdrawal.
50% of men in 2023 were single and not looking for any type of relationship or any type of interaction with women. And when they were surveyed, most of them admitted to just completely giving up on dating and relationships in general. We live in a time where we have social media, we have all of these different dating apps, we have this abundance of platforms and different ways that we can meet new people, yet there's more people that are single and admitting to be lonely than ever before. There was a study done by Morgan Stanley. I got this from a Chris Williamson podcast, and it says in 2040, 45% of women aged between the ages of 25 and 40 will be single and childless. Those stats are pretty alarming, and you have to ask the question, how did we get here?
Men didn't lose interest in dating. They outgrew the terms. Over time, the modern arrangement revealed itself as responsibility without reciprocity, risk without protection, and effort that's only acknowledged when it benefits someone else. When things work, the credit is shared. When they don't, the blame is personal and permanent. So men stopped negotiating with a system that penalizes mistakes and ignores consistency. Walking away wasn't bitterness, it was clarity.
Back in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's the third date, fourth date, a week later. He hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they are like, "You don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story, and where I ain't touching nobody." And it sucks, because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships.
What's being mistaken for confusion is actually clarity. Men didn't vanish. They recognized the odds and stepped away. When the game demands constant emotional investment with diminishing returns, walking away isn't bitterness, it's intelligence. There's no anger in the decision, no need for explanations, and no urge to be understood. You don't keep feeding a system designed to drain you. You quietly remove yourself and move on, unbothered by who's still spinning the wheel.
We see the men of the West checking out. And I would love during our Q&A portion if somebody thinks that's a good thing or a bad thing. And if you think it's a good thing, at least you are morally consistent. If you think that the men of a society checking out is a good thing, well, you are getting your goal, because that is what is happening.
Confidence didn't disappear. Belief did. Men didn't suddenly become weaker. They became more aware of a system that applauds them only when they're productive and discards them the moment they show vulnerability. They learned that effort is celebrated only when it benefits others, and accountability is demanded only when they falter. So they stopped performing. They stopped explaining. And instead of chasing validation from a broken structure, they chose distance, discipline, and self-respect.
Male loneliness is one of the biggest epidemics in the world right now, and nobody's talking about it. So I want to talk to the men. You, the one holding it together when nobody asks how you're doing, the one who carries all the weight, stays silent, and still shows up every single day. You wake up tired, but you move anyway. You don't complain, you don't quit, you just keep stacking it brick by brick, hoping somebody notices the wall that you have built. But they don't, because the world raises the bar on men and lowers the gratitude. You get told to be strong, but never told it's okay to be human. You give everything and still feels like you're not enough. Listen to me. You are not weak for needing support. You are not broken for feeling empty. You're a man who's been carrying too much for too long. Simple. If you're watching this and you feel alone, please hear me. You matter, your work matters, your presence matters, and it's needed. Send the message, make the call, ask for help, do anything you can, because real strength isn't silence. It's just being honest with yourself. Real toughness isn't failing. It's standing back up. So to every man out there holding it down quietly, I see you, I respect you, and I'm proud of you. Now go and tell another man that he matters too. That's how we fix this.
What gets mistaken for withdrawal is simply discernment. Men aren't stepping back out of fear. They're choosing not to risk their money, reputation, or freedom in a game where the rules change without warning. When accountability is selective and expectations are fluid, participation stops making sense. Walking away isn't emotional, it's strategic. And once a man realizes he doesn't need to explain that choice, detachment becomes effortless.
Dude, men are fucking lonely, bro. People don't seem to understand that. 77% of suicides, men. Every 5 minutes, a man commits suicide. Dude, like, who's gonna fucking step up and be like, yo, I got you guys? There's a couple guys, but obviously they're getting censored. Community is extremely important.
What's being misread isn't men walking away. It's the assumption that they would continue accepting terms that worsen with time. There was an expectation that loyalty would remain automatic, even as the cost kept rising and the returns kept shrinking. Men didn't suddenly change. They simply stopped negotiating against themselves. Stepping back wasn't rebellion or resentment, it was calculation. And once a man recognizes a bad deal, silence and distance become the most rational response.
The hardest truth you'll face as a man is realizing she can stay for years without choosing you. She can enjoy your effort, your protection, your consistency, and still never see you as her future. She wasn't with you out of love. She was with you out of convenience, nothing more than that. Until one day she found someone else she thought was better, and suddenly you weren't enough. Too many men realized too late they weren't loved, just placeholders filling time until she moved. That's why you can't confuse her presence with commitment or her attention with true loyalty. If she never saw you as the man she wanted to build with, no effort in the world could change it. She was only passing time until her next choice arrived, and that's the cruelest kind of betrayal. The harshest truth of all is she was never yours to lose. She was only waiting for her escape.
Men didn't disappear. They disengaged. They quietly stepped away from a system that demands effort without reciprocity and accountability without balance. When responsibility became expected, but consequences became optional, participation stopped making sense. So men adjusted, not emotionally, but strategically. They stopped negotiating their value, stopped explaining their absence, and stopped chasing agreements that only benefited one side. What looks like withdrawal is simply men choosing clarity over chaos and self-respect over obligation.
Men are not that complicated.
Yeah.
And see, that's what women don't get. You got to make sure your man is good internally, because the world beat them up every day. And if somebody calling, especially if the man making some money, everybody calling, can I get this, can I get that? But nobody stopped to say, how is your day? Good morning, good afternoon. Simple shit like that means the world to men.
billion.
Simple shit.
Silence from men isn't a wound, it's a recalibration. After watching honesty get punished socially and legally, many men adjusted their behavior instead of arguing the system. Speaking less isn't fear or emotional damage, it's pattern recognition. When transparency creates liability instead of trust, restraint becomes strategy. Men didn't shut down, they stepped back, observed the outcomes, and chose control over chaos. Silence isn't withdrawal, it's awareness followed by discipline. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.